So thank you very much for your patience while I do that. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Alejandro Arrieta, seré el intérprete del inglés y el español el día de hoy. En esta reunión nos gustaría que cada persona pueda participar por completo en el idioma de su corazón. Entonces, vamos a usar la interpretación como parte de la justicia del lenguaje y van a ver en la parte de abajo, a mano derecha, un icono terráqueo donde van a poder seleccionarlo para escoger su idioma para la interpretación. Entonces, cuando vean ese icono, después de que repita estas instrucciones en inglés, van a seleccionar el español y si se requiere pueden regresar a poner el audio original en silencio para que solamente escuchen en el idioma de su preferencia. Y con eso voy a repetirlo en inglés y después comenzamos. All right. So once again, thank you all for having me. And in this space, we want to make sure that everybody is fully able to engage in the language of their heart, and we want to make sure that everybody is prepared for a language possibly switching in the space. So if you're not fluently bilingual in both English and Spanish, we will have you also select your language. After these instructions, not quite yet, but afterwards, you're going to see a globe icon appear on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Once that pops up, make sure you select English as your preferred language. And if necessary, you can always go back and hit mute original audio so that you only listen in the language of your heart. But with that, I will go ahead and pass it over to our presenters for today, and we're going to turn on the interpretation feature now. Ya vamos a aprender la interpretación. Thank you all.
Hi, everyone. So the language interpretation is now available at the bottom of the screen. So definitely thank you all for joining us today. My name is Megan Stansel. I run the Certifiably Green Denver program that works with businesses to help them reduce their environmental impacts. And so this is the first of a 6-part webinar series to help our businesses understand how they can become more sustainable and learn about opportunities available to you as well as best practices. We will drop a link in the chat so you can learn more about the following webinars if you are interested in attending those as well. All right, so with that, I would like to introduce our presenter, Christian Clements with Xcel Energy. So he is their energy efficiency specialist and is here today to talk to us about the many different business programs as well as financial incentives that Xcel offers, and then really to help us understand how to navigate those opportunities. So with that, I will go on mute and let Christian take over.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you, Megan and the Certifiable team. Been an awesome privilege to just be a part of this. Hopefully everyone is able to benefit from this today. Oh, trying to get the screen shared over here. All right. And just want to make sure everyone can see the correct screen. Are we all set up on this one? Awesome. Cool. So yeah, as Megan shared, my name is Christian Clements. I'm an energy efficiency specialist with Xcel Energy. Really what my job entails is helping folks throughout all Xcel Energy territories that we'd have rebates in, specifically Minnesota, Colorado, and New Mexico, applying for rebates, getting set up for energy assessments, and tons more. So today I want to do a very high level look at all of the rebates and assessments that we have available through Xcel Energy, and that would be available to you as our customers in our service territories. Specifically today, we'll be focusing on Colorado. Another main focus on this is sort of efforts that I've been working with Megan for on how the certifiable program would work and how we correlate together. So it'll be a lot of focus on assessments and then individual rebates as well, and sort of the pathway there. But everything that's presented today is only like a very small glimpse on what we actually have from its entirety. And so I am in what is called the Business Solution Center under the Demand Side Management. So Business Solution Center is where businesses would call in, and it's sort of our customer service center, if you will. If you want to talk to someone about possibility of rates or anything to do with your account, maybe even adding contacts onto your account, that would be where you would initially reach out. And then from there, if you specifically are looking into rebates or energy assessments, you would ask for an energy efficiency specialist or rebate specialist, or just mention rebates for energy efficient equipment, and they'll send you over to a rep like myself. There are 9 of us in the inside sales team. So those 9 of us work across all those 3 states I mentioned. And then as well, we also have a few other specific state reps. So point 4 there, you can see we have something called a mid-market field rep. So in Colorado and Minnesota, we have reps that are specific to that territory. And today I have the Colorado folks on here. I believe if you guys are there, I see Taylor right there. It says Christian Clements. That's not them. There's not 5 of me. There's only 1. But that's Taylor there. I think I saw Joseph. I can't see everyone all at once, but maybe some other folks are in here as well. And basically, so their job is really to focus specifically on Colorado and be our feet on the, or boots on the ground. That's what I'm trying to say. Boots on the ground out there for us. And they can be available for on-site project help, whether that's, doing a field verification of equipment, or just kind of doing a quick touch in, a quick walkthrough. Maybe they'll, I'll having trouble getting a hold of a customer, I'll send them out there and they'll, knock on the door and that kind of stuff. So they're really specific to those areas. So I just wanted y'all to know that we do have folks out there who would be available to certain circumstances where you might need someone to actually come to the facility. But in general, the best way to get in contact with us is through that phone number right there, that 8862 number. As well as at the end here, I'll have a email address that you would be able to reach us at. It's just energyefficiency@xcelenergy.com. And then, from there, you can kind of get in contact with one of us or a field rep as well. The other thing that I want to quick mention too is we do have for customers that are very large power users, generally in a 500 to 750 kW or more. We're looking at the megawatt usage and whatnot, very large power users. We would have what are called specifically account managers, and they would kind of be the one-stop shop for Xcel in general. So they would be the main contact from power outages to billing and backup generation and all these other things. And they focus specifically on large power users. So if anyone here today might think that they would be in that range, but they don't know who their account manager is, again, just give us a call in the BSC, that's the Business Solution Center, and we can find out exactly who you are. And same with where you might fall. If you are a small to mid-market, basically small power user to mid-size power user, you would almost always fall into our bucket, if you will, in our BSC DSM side of things. So what we do is we offer rebates, and so that is basically money that's available to you for doing energy efficiency projects. And these rebates benefit customers to help them adopt energy efficient technology, a big one being LED, and really focus on bringing down the paybacks as well as just upfront costs and those kinds of things to sort of support on that end. And then we also have lots of awesome trade partners. I work with a lot of different trades, specifically to like lighting and stuff, who, they'll call me up and say, hey, I just did this project. I'm helping the customer with the rebate paperwork. Here's everything for you. And then so they also kind of help facilitate some of our programs in that way too. So it across the board is very beneficial because it helps them close deals. It helps customers in general be able to offset some costs. So it's an awesome, just a really good way for all of us to interact together, as we would all be power users in the demand and supply side and all that kind of stuff there. So these rebates can come out in 3 different ways. The main way that we generally see is just a check in the mail. Once the rebate's processed, we send that out, and 4 to 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, somewhere along that line, we kind of just are at the mercy of the mail. on that. The other way that we can do them is a bill credit. So that is exactly what it is. We would just apply that amount to your bill, and it would just be reduced every month until that basically fund is gone. And then same with a direct deposit. If you have account or like direct deposit with us for the account for paying your bill every month, we can then also take that rebate and directly deposit into your account. So to qualify, you need to be a Colorado business customer, basically metered commercially, and buy electricity and or gas through us as Xcel Energy. In Colorado specifically, we run into a thing called gas transport, which is where the customer would have Xcel Energy piping and that kind of stuff leading up to the gas meter, but the gas traveling through is purchased on the open market, and purchasing that type of, having that sort of system would not qualify you for the rebates. You need to be paying into the SIP funds to be able to pull out from them. And then the other thing on our rebates as well is we do have what's called an alternate rebate recipient. And we see this a lot with like landlords or trade partners. So let's say the tenant, or excuse me, the landlord is paying for the LED light update, but the tenant is the one that has the Xcel Energy account. So then the tenant would then sign over the rebate check to the landlord. And we have that ability right within the application. And it's fairly straightforward process as long as the customer is fully aware and understanding and wanting to pursue that method, we can do that. So I know that's a pretty quick overview right there, but I just wanted to kind of dive into kind of just some logistic things on how it all works. But then now we can kind of get into the meat of it all. So in our programs, we have, you can think of them as 3 different types of buckets. So the first type is a study or an assessment, and this is looking at it from a holistic standpoint, and these can be as in-depth as just a quick walkthrough with a list of, here you go, this is what you should update, to something where you have meetings every other month up to 3 years, where we really are focusing in depth on the usage and tons and tons of other options as well. So today, when I go over the studies, I'm just going to go over the 2 main studies that folks going through Certifiably Green Denver would generally do. Our small business and the commercial streamline. Those are also our most popular programs in general. But if you fall into, if your facility is either industrial or indoor agricultural or, any of those types of things, we have assessments for different types. So please always reach out to us beforehand so we can get you in the right program. So then the other type of bucket of programs that we have are called the rebate programs. And so those are prescriptive rebates, and prescriptive rebates are generally what most people think of when they think of a rebate. So it's a this for that or a cookie cutter style. Basically, I know for a fact if you're installing a troffer light that meets certain qualifications and ranges and stuff, it will be $30 a fixture. I can tell you that right out the bat. However, if you're installing something like a 100-horse air compressor, that we don't have a prescriptive rebate, but that would go through what we call our custom rebate program. And that is more focused on an analysis side of things. So it's like a cost benefit analysis looking at comparing the high efficient versus the low efficient options and seeing if it would qualify for rebates, and very, very custom analysis. I kind of like that program. It's fun to see the different types of equipment. I've seen a lot of crazy types of equipment that I didn't expect to see before. And so it is cool to see that we have this, if we don't have the option as a prescriptive, we can certainly try to see if it'll run through a custom option. The big thing for those custom programs is you need to be pre-approved before purchase and install. So please always reach out to us beforehand, again, at that 800 number, and just let us know what you're doing, and we can try to see where it would fit perfectly into our programs. So let's touch base on assessment programs. So assessments, very straightforward. We come in, or a third-party implementer comes in does an assessment of the building from the equipment. It can also dive into like bill history, usage, and all that kind of stuff, to really get into looking at it from a holistic standpoint. We have programs for, like I mentioned, just regular office buildings to indoor agriculture to multifamily. We also have a compressed air study program where it's a leak study. So we'll look at all the piping and whatnot throughout the facility. And if we will cover 100% of the study if 75% of the leaks are fixed. And so just simple things like that, where, if you reach out to us, we will, get you in the right program, or study, however that would work. So I want to touch base on the two main ones. The first one is the Small Business Energy Solutions Program. This one and the one I will discuss here in a second, called the Commercial Streamline. These are both implemented by our implement partners, called Clear Result. And I think our guys are on here today. Luke, are you in here? I think I saw your name pop up. Luke and Mark, I believe you guys are here. Yeah, so sweet, there you are. So Luke and Mark are they're with Clear Results, so they're a third-party implementer, and they're contracted with us to, operate these programs for us, be the assessors and whatnot. And Luke and I work very closely together, specifically with this and with Megan, and it's great having them. They work very, very well, very effectively, and so yeah, great partnership there. And so with this program, you can kind of think of this as like basically the Clear Result comes in and they do an assessment, look at the building, and then you get a list of efficiency updates and sort of some direction on what to do from there. You also get some implementation support, getting connected to the right equipment, as well as rebate support on the other end, is like implementing that kind of stuff. And the thing about this program is it's for small businesses. So we do have a limit of power user for anyone on this program is for anyone under 400 kW. And if that's something you have no idea if you fit into that or not, again, just give us a call at that 800 number and we'll be able to assist you in figuring out exactly the right program for you there. And then there's a little bit more of that program, but I want to touch on the commercial program real quick, and then I'll dive into the other benefit of both of them. So we business program, and generally geared towards customers, I would say probably greater than that 400 kW, but we certainly can, it really just depends on who the customer is and all these other scenarios as well. So again, we'll help you figure out exactly where you would want to go and what would be the best bet for you. But this is an ASHRAE level 1 assessment, and that just really means that this is a basic overview of the equipment within the building, along with taking a look at a bill history report, which over the past 3 years, which would really look at usage in general. I would say if you're kind of a bigger user, a bigger power user, maybe a larger office building or whatnot, and we got Energize Denver being implemented and all that kind of stuff. This is the perfect program for you, because it will give you all types of information that you need. If you're not sure how to get your Energy Star benchmarking score, this program will give you that. Lots of benefit to that as well. And then the other great thing is, along with the small business, this one is also free, depending on the square footage. And I got that breakdown right there, but basically free up to 50,000 square feet of building. And then, so both of these programs qualify for what we call our direct install program. And this is a free implementation of energy saving products, like small energy saving products, for anyone under 100 kW. So these are definitely for the smaller power users, and really it's a way that we are able to instantly, give you some support on saving some energy. So let's say you go through small business or the commercial assessment. From there, you can then and you qualify under that 100 kW, you'd immediately be able to set up another day for ClearResult to come back, or whomever would be implementing that, to come back and install like little screw-in lamps as well as LED tubes, and then certain things like aerators on the restrooms and whatnot too. So, and again, there's some technicalities to all of it, but generally, people under 100 kW would qualify for those and whatnot. So those are both definitely that's probably one of the best benefits for that, because you just for signing up and doing the assessment, if you qualify, you immediately get to take advantage of energy savings equipment without having to actually implement anything or like do the whole like process of getting someone and finding trade and all that kind of stuff. It can just happen almost instantly. So very awesome benefit to the program there. Then real quick, I just want to touch on our multifamily program, because it is a very similar assessment style, but it's focused just for multifamily buildings. So we would consider multifamily having a common entrance that has 5 or more units with in-unit kitchens. So a good example of this is an apartment building. But the benefit of this one for apartment buildings specifically is it also is basically a streamlined assessment for multifamily, but it also comes with that free direct install program, but there's no limit on size for those. So this is a very awesome opportunity for all multifamily buildings as well. So again, real quick, just wanted to go through because I know I might be going a little fast, but in general, a lot of these programs are kind of all the same. It just depends on the level of detail that we look at stuff and the level of detail that you would like to be involved. So again, we have the small business program for customers under 400 kW, a ASHRAE level 1, which is called a commercial streamline assessment. And this is free for anyone under 50,000 square feet. Both of them come with that direct install program and of those energy savings equipment, and then same with the multifamily program for multifamily units or buildings, excuse me. So then we have our prescriptive program. So today I'm just going to use the LED lighting program as the example because it is by far the most popular one. So prescriptive programs in general, we have stuff from lighting to HVAC, which would include like motors, drives, pumps, fans, compressed air, kitchen equipment, and refrigeration. It doesn't necessarily mean that we rebate all types of this equipment. There are caveats to everything on, how much, like, what do the spec sheets look like, and is it efficient, and all, lots of stuff there. And probably one of the best ways to figure out is to going to our website, which I'll show us how to navigate that here at the end, and getting the application in your hand, looking at the application, seeing if your equipment is on there, looking at your spec sheet to make sure it qualifies there. And if you need help with any of that as well, feel free to shoot us an email or give us a call. We're happy to help with that. So in specific, let's look at the process for prescriptive through the lighting program. So this lighting program is our retrofit program. So removing like fluorescent lighting and installing and replacing it with LED lighting. And so the process on this is very simple. As long as your LED lights qualify, all you really need to do is gather your invoicing with the model numbers and also submit an application. And I have some specifics there for you on that. Excuse me one second. Thank you. So the specifics there, on the application, we need the customer signature, info about the new LED lights, and info on the removed lighting, be it fluorescent or HID or whatever it would have been. And then same with the invoicing. We need those model numbers on there with quantities and whatnot. And the thing there is we cannot rebate a purchase order or a quote. However, those certainly are very helpful to go over before you do the project. So we can make sure everything's set up on the front end. So you just have to then get the invoice from the contractor at the end and submit that. A couple things on the lighting program. I'm sure y'all are familiar with Energy Star. They're a third-party certification company, basically, And then there's also the Design Lights Consortium, or I'll just refer to it as DLC. And they're another third-party certification company that looks specifically at lighting. And so when we're looking at a light to see how it would qualify, we look for those DLC or the Energy Star certifications to qualify that equipment for a higher rebate. We can certainly rebate non-DLC and non-Energy Star equipment. However, they just qualify for a lesser rebate amount, and I'll show you some examples right here. So this is what it would look like on the website, or excuse me, on the application. I pulled a few snips of that. So for example, way up here at the top of the application that's not listed, there'd be the customer information. This would be the middle section, which would have the actual installed equipment. So this is all the LED equipment, and then just a few examples listed here. And then beyond that would be where you put the information regarding the removed lighting. So we have the LED downlight fixture, and then so the downlight would be qualified on Energy Star as recessed, surface, or surface mount or pendant. So let's say you are doing a 10-watt LED downlight and you're replacing a compact fluorescent system, and it is Energy Star listed, so then it would qualify for that $25 per fixture rebate. So if I'm installing 10 of those, it will qualify for $250 rebate. So then you can kind of apply that logic across the rest of the application. You want to make sure that it fits the qualification listed in this gray box, and then sort of gets down to like what wattage you're installing, what you're replacing. Like here, we can rebate installing new linear ambient fixtures, and that's the entire fixture, not necessarily the tube replacement. But if you're pulling out the whole fixture, then we have a rebate based on this for you. So again, a 10-watt replacing one of these DLC listed would be $15 per fixture. And then same with exterior lighting. We do have, canopy fixtures. So those would be something on like a gas pump. They're called fuel pump canopy luminaires. We have a rebate for them, as listed here. A 25-watt replacing HID DLC would be $20 per fixture. So it's fairly straightforward. It just really depends on what you're installing and what you're removing as well. And we'll go over, more on the website, and I'll point that out to you. Just some good info there. And then really want to touch real quick on what's called our instant lighting rebate program. And so this is an instant rebate is a rebate that's applied at the time of purchase. So there's no paperwork or anything that you need to do. The only thing that you need to do is make sure you're buying it from a participating distributor. And I have a link that I'll show you guys exactly how to do that and find out where that is. And the important thing I wanted to make mention of this is because LED tubes, so those are, you're replacing a T5 bulb, and so you're taking those out and then you're putting in an LED, normally called like a type B or a ballast bypass. Those types of equipment are rebated through this instant program. So you really want to make sure that you get that through this program instead, because we wouldn't have a rebate for you on the back end of that. So it's always important to make sure to either contact us or find this participating distributor link on the website, and I'll show you exactly where that is. And it's a very easy link. You just open it and then type in your zip code and you're good to go. It'll show you where to buy them from. So then real quick, I want to touch on our HVAC program. So HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, air conditioning. And then we add an R in there, which is for refrigeration. So we have a lot of these different programs all kind of wrapped up in the HVAC program that we kind of refer to. One thing I do want to make mention is that we unfortunately do not have rebates for rooftop units, split systems, condensing units, PTACs, which are like air conditioning in like a hotel room. You kind of can think about them that way, or heat pumps or specific type of chillers that way. So it's really important to double check on the front end our application to see what type of equipment actually does qualify. So that's sort of a brief overview of our prescriptive programs. And then the last bucket we had discussed a few minutes ago was the custom program. So custom can kind of fall into three different types of categories, really. It is a custom rebate analysis of specific equipment, or a energy management system, where a customer might be installing a new system or retrofitting an old system. And then this would also qualify in our new construction programs. So, we have an energy design assistance program and an energy efficient buildings program, which all of those are generally for brand new builds, or the energy efficient building program can also handle, like major redesigns or renovations or something along those lines. But generally that's what, and they're all sort of custom because they are, as the word dictated, is custom to each individual situation. The biggest thing here is we would not be able to provide an estimated rebate, and we would also need pre-approval, or you to be pre-approved before you do anything. So basically, reach out to us if you're starting a new project, and especially if you're doing new construction or anything like that. We want to get you in that early design phase. We just need to be able to show, as Xcel Energy, we need to be able to show that influence into the projects, thus allowing the rebate program to take place for you. And these are really just to set up the rebates on the front end rather than trying to pursue them on the back end. So let's take a look at just the custom rebate analysis program. So we need that application, like I was saying beforehand, as well as what we call a workbook. So it's a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, basically with information of the new equipment compared to the old equipment, or potentially equipment that you could install. And it's a cost benefit analysis based on energy savings and project costs and all these other variables. And some things on that is the project may not qualify for a rebate. It depends on the payback time and other variables, but and anything between over a year and in that less than 10 or whatever year payback time range generally has a good opportunity. However, it does not mean that it would be the only reason it would qualify. There's certainly plenty of other reasons that go into it, and it's custom, so it always, we can't give you a rebate estimate. However, I have listed there on the screen, that's the incentive values that we apply to a rebate. So it depends on your peak wattage reduction, your off-peak wattage reduction, and then as well, if you have the gas in there as well. And so, like I said, it's a custom process. So please reach out to us beforehand for anything in general. So that's really the end of all the general information I have for you. I know it's kind of a lot, but again, just think about it as like you're either going to have an assessment or go for a prescriptive rebate. And if there's not a prescriptive rebate, we can look into that third bucket, the custom. So here's the information again. So that's the that 800 number, and you'll ask for an energy efficiency specialist, or just ask for like LED rebates or something like that. You'll get to us. Otherwise, a very efficient way to get a hold of us is shoot us an email. Those emails come in, and our support team, they assign them out to reps, and then we are then able to reach out to you, set up a good time to hop on the call that'll fit your schedule, fit well for you in there, and then we can kind of work through your your situation and your questions from that. So the website, I want to point out a few things here. So we have our website. One thing to note is, I'm not sure if you can see my little arrow hand here, but the CO right here, that stands for Colorado. So if y'all are looking into, maybe you own a building in Colorado, but you live in California or wherever, always make sure that The website it says Colorado here, just in case, you might be, it'll go by your location from where you're looking up. So you might be looking at Minnesota programs or New Mexico programs or whatever. So you want to make sure that says Colorado. So I do have a couple things pulled up here. So that link right there, xcelenergy.com/s/business/ways to save will take you to this right here. So I can show you all how I got here specifically, basically from the home page. You click on business customer and then go to view all savings. So I know it says rebates here, but again, will just take you to our prescriptive rebate program. So I'd suggest you go to the view all savings section. And then you can see down here, this helps me so much as I'm navigating the website. It's a file pathing, so it shows me exactly where I'm at. So from the home page, I went to business services and to savings, and now here I am. So you can kind of see we lay these out in those 3 bucket styles. So we got our prescriptive rebates and our new building custom programs, and then in here we have custom as well as the assessment programs. And just because I wasn't sure if my internet would be good, I pulled up a few different spots. So if I click on this cost savings right here, that will take me to this page where you'll be able to find the business energy assessment program. That's where that commercial one will be. The multifamily program, that's where the multifamily would be. And then at the bottom here, we have our small business energy solutions program. And I'll go into those a little bit more, but I wanted to show you one quick more program just to touch base on it. And that's our AC Rewards Smart Thermostat program. So this will also be identified for you in those assessments as well. But it's basically if you sign up with us into this program, you'll be given a free Ecobee 3 smart thermostat that will, let me see if I can actually click into it real quick. Oh, perfect. All right. So yeah, so you receive that free smart thermostat plus free installation and earn up to $25 per thermostat. So you'd get a thermostat per rooftop unit or air conditioning that you might have at the building. And the caveat to this is the reason it would be free is because you'd be enrolling in an event program. So basically in the cooling season, so the summer months, you would allow Xcel Energy to control your cooling by offsetting it. Say you have it set at 72 degrees, we would offset it to 74 or 76 or whatever it would be. And that helps to reduce load. And so you'll be signing up to take a maximum of 10 events per season. And then you can also opt out of as many of 5 events of these per season as well. And then every year that you remain enrolled, you will get that $25 after the cooling season, normally in October-ish. Just an awesome program. This is probably the best way for anyone that is like starting to look into an energy management system. This is a great way to sort of get your feet wet on understanding like how to think, like having an energy management system and all that kind of stuff. These are, great program here for you if that's something you wanted to look into. Basically, you sign up right here on the website, and then there is a terms and conditions page, so you can look more into that and what we require and whatnot as well. So back into here, remember again, we're going to cost savings, and then we would go to this. I'm going to go to the Small Business Energy Solutions program because it has a very good application that it actually is a split application between small business and that commercial assessment that I was pointing out earlier. Talking about all the benefits and all the information regarding there. And again, so if you scroll all the way down on any of these pages and just look for the additional resources, that's where you're going to start to look for the applications and just info sheets and all that kind of stuff, as well as you can see like Energy Star stuff and lots of different things available to you here. But I do actually have the application pulled up for us because I wanted to go over it briefly. So I really like this application because these are the two biggest programs, and we go look at it, you go one or the other. And the nice thing is if you sign up for the wrong one, it's not, we just can use the same application. You don't have to sign up for a different one or anything like that. It's no problem. So you select which program you want to go into. And again, so the commercial does come with that complimentary direct install, free for, and you know, the cost right here, the cost is here as well. If you would like a remote assessment, we can certainly do that as well. Just have to check the box, yes or no. So then you'll fill out your information right here for customer information, type of equipment or type of fuel that you have. And this is pretty important for multiple buildings. Please complete an application for each address. However, I will say, please reach out to us before, if you own like 5 or 6 buildings, please reach out to us and we can help you find a way to streamline that process to be able to get that app situation set up for you. That's a lot of paperwork, and my main job is to make sure you don't have to do too much paperwork. So, and then it goes into information on what the building is and, you know, square footage. What do you do in there? Do you own it? Do you lease it? You know, what's going on, different other building information. And you don't need to necessarily know everything here, but just put in what you have and what you know. If we need any more information, we'll, you know, ask you about that. And then we will need the customer signature right here. And then this is our third-party release form. So generally, I see Megan have certifiably green Denver written in here. And this really just allows us as Xcel Energy to be able to share account information with a third party. So another great option is in Colorado, I'm working with specifically some of the churches there. And there's one person who is kind of the head over all of it. If you want me to share that information with that person, I would just need that person's name listed in here and all that. And then obviously this is something that you as the customer would agree to, and making sure that you know, you don't have to by any means allow that to happen, but this is certainly an option that's there for you. And then on every application, we always have the terms and conditions. If you want to find out more about that direct install offering, you know, all that is right here. And then the last page is generally just for us for, you know, account management and BSC to figure out and fill out. So that's the application for you there for the assessment. Then lastly, I just wanted to point out our equipment rebates. And this is the prescriptive stuff. So again, from here, I'm just going to click on, again, we're at home, business services and savings. And then I'm just going to click on explore rebates, and that'll get me right into this page, which has all of our prescriptive programs, that email and phone number to give us a call. You can see all different types of things that we would have for equipment here. So that's pretty much all I had, you know, prepared for today. Again, a very, very high look at everything, because a lot of this stuff we can get down in the nitty gritty. But I absolutely would say, if any questions, please reach out to us via email or give us a call, ask for demand side management or energy efficiency specialist. And, you know, we'd be happy to help you figure out things. But yeah, thanks again, Megan and everyone today. So that's all I have for you. So I can definitely take some questions here that might have come up during the webinar.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christian. I do highly encourage, if you have a business, to reach out to the Business Solutions Center. What I always tell my businesses is that there are no penalties for getting those free energy assessments. They're only there to help and provide you any recommendations, free things like LED bulbs, and then definitely those prescriptive rebates. They can also identify if you've already even made those purchases, if it does qualify within a certain time frame. So definitely highly encourage it. If you also have any questions and have my contact, I'm more than happy to connect you to the right parties. Really just trying to make this process as smooth as possible. and really make sure that you're taking advantage of all of these programs and incentives. Christian, we only really had one question. I kind of answered a couple more during, but the question was, what are the benefits of Energy Star?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I would throw this in with DLC as well. So the benefits there is that they are third-party certified by a trusted third party. And that's sort of why we look at those as earning that higher premium, if you will, because it's not just the manufacturer giving us their own testing. That's all, it just removes bias from that, I believe, is kind of the general census there. And so that's sort of the benefit to that. There are some where, um, maybe I can't think of, maybe in refrigeration or something like that, where one or some types of equipment require Energy Star, but from my understanding, we certainly can rebate non-Energy Star and non-DLC. It just doesn't earn that higher rebate premium. I hope that answers the question there.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree that third-party certification is always helpful, and it does prove that it is a more energy efficient appliance. Great. Let's see, we have another question. So Christian, does streamlined assessments provide payback numbers? And then, well, we'll start with that, and then I'll do the second part.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. Yeah. So that's a good point. One thing I forgot to mention is the streamlined assessment. After the actual assessment, then you'll have a report delivered to you. So it's a pretty lengthy report, probably 8 to 10 pages or so of information about the facility. It'll also go over like what type of equipment to install and what not necessarily model numbers, but more so like if you installed X, you would find this kind of savings, you'd have this kind of payback. Here's the rebate that's available to you. One thing I am just thinking of right now is currently every so often we do offer bonuses to our rebates. So this year specifically, one that's big is the lighting bonuses. So anything that's invoiced between January 1st of this year through September 30th qualifies for a lighting bonus as long as it qualifies, within our specifications. But generally you see like a 25 to 50% bonus or something along those lines. So example, I did that $30 for a troffer, which is just like an office light, which fits in these types of ceilings right here. With a 25% bonus, we would see that being $37.50 because it's a $30. So you just add on, excuse me, you just add on that bonus onto the already available rebate. But yeah, I hope that kind of explains everything there. So the paybacks on those commercial streamline assessments might vary depending on when you implement those findings or those projects. So
Thanks, Christian. So does the Business Solutions Center offer free assessments of electrification opportunities for small businesses?
So there is a newer program coming out called Empower Facilities, and there's some info on it on our website. And it sort of is a giant holistic program, and it may offer some benefit, although for small businesses, the assessments and whatnot might not be beneficial there. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. I think the best way to figure that out is really to get either the small business assessment or commercial streamline assessment, and then sort of talk about with the auditor, like, we want to go towards that electrification, with Energize Denver and all that kind of stuff, and sort of what are next steps and how does that look here? Because we certainly would be able to help implement in certain things. And then we also do have our field reps as well. So if there's ever a need for, specific situations where someone would need to come out and do like a walkthrough that's not necessarily one way or another related to our programs, we certainly can. However, I think we should always start with one of those programs, just because it sets you up for rebates and all that kind of stuff. And then a lot of that electrification thing some of that might qualify into the custom realm in some sense. And yeah, I hope that kind of answers the question a little bit more for anyone.
All right, we do have another. Christian, could you repeat how commercial energy studies or ASHRAE level 2 audits might be covered or addressed for buildings larger than 50,000 square feet?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of a two-part question there. So I'm going to go back to that slide. See if I can get to it right here. So this program specifically is for ASHRAE level 1, which is that commercial streamline assessment. And it is, the building breakdowns are right here on square footage and the costs. But if you are looking into needing an ASHRAE level 2, we certainly do have a program for that. It's called our business assessment program. And that one, the breakdown for the cost on that, I believe, is Xcel covers a portion of that, and then you would also cover the remaining portion of that. I don't necessarily I think it is quite large, a little around 50, maybe more percentage of the costs of implementing that ASHRAE level 2. And so I hope that kind of explains, but there's the difference in this one being just specifically for ASHRAE level 1, which again is a more basic look, and then a level 2 would be a little deeper. And then there's even, I don't know if we necessarily have this one available for mid to small size customers, but there is an ASHRAE level 3, which is more like an energy modeling system and all that kind of stuff, which it's super detailed. But I don't know exactly if we offer a level 3, but kind of hope that helps a little bit.
Okay, I think that might conclude all of the questions for now. So at this point, we can go ahead and wrap it up, give you all a few minutes back in your day. I definitely appreciate everybody attending today. If you do have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to the Business Solutions Center. You can reach out to me or Christian. We can definitely get you in touch with the right people. I would also mention that as many business programs as they have available, they also have a number of residential opportunities. Although we are mainly business focused, that is definitely something I would recommend considering on your residential properties as well. Xcel is doing great things for us. So we definitely, once again, want to take as many advantages of those opportunities as possible. So with that, Christian, I don't know if you have anything else to say or if you want to wrap it up, and then we can go ahead and end it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks again, Megan. No, that's pretty much everything I have. And same, glad that we're able to support Certifiably Green Denver, as well as, it goes both ways. So this is very, very helpful for us. And thank you everyone for being able to attend today. Again, the information on the screen there, if you need any sort of contact whatsoever from us, please feel free to reach out, give us a call, shoot us an email. We're happy to help. So thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you.